Before we dive into today's journey, prepare yourself to uncover a side of West Virginia few ever see. A place where breathtaking beauty clashes with haunting mysteries, harsh realities, and stories that will send chills down your spine. Beneath the rolling Appalachian hills lie secrets of poverty, addiction, eerie legends like the Mothman, abandoned towns, and more. This isn't just another travel video or feel-good story. It's a raw look at what makes living here both challenging and mysterious. If you think you know West Virginia, think again, because what follows might change everything you thought you understood about this mountain state. So stay with me as we explore these 10 reasons not to move to West Virginia. But before we jump in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're pulling back the curtain, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. Let's dive in. West Virginia's poverty rate is among the highest in the nation, with about 16.3% of residents living below the poverty line, compared to the national average of roughly 11.6%. This persistent economic hardship affects large swaths of the state, particularly in rural areas where coal mining once provided steady jobs. With limited economic diversification, many towns have suffered severe population declines and lack basic services. Poverty fuels social challenges like food insecurity, substandard housing, and poor healthcare access. It also fosters a sense of isolation and despair in communities where opportunities feel scarce. For newcomers, this economic environment can mean difficulty finding stable employment and fewer community resources. The stark realities of living in poverty-stricken areas can be disheartening, especially when coupled with declining local industries. This creates an atmosphere where many residents struggle daily, making West Virginia a tough place to build a stable, prosperous future. West Virginia is at the epicenter of America's opioid crisis, with the highest overdose death rate in the country, approximately 85.1 deaths per 100,000 people in 2020, nearly triple the national average. The opioid epidemic has ravaged communities, tearing apart families and overwhelming healthcare and emergency services. The crisis began with prescription painkillers, but escalated as illicit drugs like heroin and fentanyl flooded the state. Addiction fuels increased crime rates, including thefts and violence, as desperate individuals seek drugs or money to support their habits. This creates an environment that can feel unsafe or unstable. Emergency rooms and social services are stretched thin, and many communities struggle to provide adequate addiction treatment or mental health support. For potential residents, living amid such widespread substance abuse can be unsettling, contributing to a mysterious atmosphere of loss, secrecy, and desperation that shadows many towns. Education in West Virginia faces severe challenges, ranking near the bottom nationally in academic achievement and resources. According to the National Assessment of Educational Progress, only around 30% of 8th graders meet proficiency standards in reading, with math proficiency even lower at 28%. Many schools suffer from aging infrastructure, limited funding, and teacher shortages, especially in rural counties. Poor educational outcomes limit students' future opportunities, perpetuating cycles of poverty. Families moving to the state face tough decisions about schooling, often choosing between under-resourced public schools or costly private alternatives. These educational struggles also affect workforce readiness, discouraging businesses from investing in the state and further impacting economic growth. For parents, the challenge of finding quality education is a serious concern, while students often grapple with insufficient support and outdated materials, leaving many feeling unprepared for college or career paths. While West Virginia is often seen as a peaceful rural state, certain areas suffer from elevated crime rates, particularly related to drug trafficking and property crimes. According to FBI data, the state's violent crime rate is close to the national average, but some counties report significantly higher incidents of burglary, theft, and drug-related offenses. These crimes often correlate with economically depressed regions where law enforcement resources are stretched thin. Small towns may experience mysterious break-ins, vandalism, or escalating drug-related violence that creates a sense of unease among residents. This atmosphere can feel eerie, especially in isolated areas where help is far away and crime scenes can linger without quick resolution. The combination of rural isolation and persistent crime can make daily life feel unpredictable and unsafe, which is a crucial consideration for those thinking about moving to West Virginia. West Virginia is steeped in folklore and mysterious tales, from ghost stories to unexplained natural phenomena. The state's dense forests, abandoned mines, and rugged mountains create an eerie backdrop where locals recount sightings of strange creatures, unexplained lights, and haunted locations. The Mothman, a winged humanoid reportedly seen near Point Pleasant in the 1960s, is one of the most famous cryptids associated with West Virginia, drawing curiosity and fear. Abandoned coal towns and underground tunnels carry stories of hauntings and tragic accidents, adding to the state's mysterious reputation. For newcomers, these tales can be unsettling or intriguing, depending on one's perspective. The combination of actual historical tragedies and folklore contributes to a pervasive sense of the unknown lurking just beneath the surface, which can add an eerie, unsettling vibe to living there. All right, we're halfway through the list and I want to hear from you. What's your take on West Virginia? Have you experienced any of these challenges firsthand, or maybe you've heard some local stories that add to the mystery? Drop your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I love reading what you all have to say. Also, if you're enjoying this deep dive, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel grow and keeps me motivated to bring you more videos like this. And hey, what topics do you want to see next? More states? More creepy places? Let me know, and I'll make it happen. Many parts of West Virginia are geographically isolated due to mountainous terrain, with winding roads and limited public transportation options. This isolation means residents often face long drives for basic services, including healthcare, groceries, and schools. The state's infrastructure is frequently rated poorly, with aging bridges and roads that struggle to withstand harsh weather. This makes travel dangerous at times, especially in winter months when snow and ice are common. Broadband internet access remains spotty in many rural areas, limiting remote work opportunities or modern conveniences that rely on connectivity. This physical and technological isolation can foster feelings of loneliness and frustration. For someone moving in from urban or suburban areas, adjusting to this slower pace and limited access can feel like stepping back into a less connected, more challenging way of life. West Virginia has been experiencing steady population decline, with many residents leaving for better opportunities elsewhere. From 2010 to 2020, the state lost over 3% of its population, the highest percentage decline of any U.S. state. This trend reflects broader economic stagnation, with limited new job growth outside of coal mining, healthcare, and some manufacturing. Declining population means less tax revenue, which impacts public services and infrastructure maintenance, perpetuating a cycle of decline. Empty storefronts and shuttered businesses are common sights in smaller towns. This economic contraction can create an unsettling environment where communities feel like they are slowly fading away. For potential movers, this demographic trend raises concerns about long-term sustainability, social isolation, and diminished community vitality. West Virginia's history is deeply tied to coal mining, which has left a complicated legacy of environmental damage. Acid mine drainage pollutes waterways, while abandoned mines pose hazards like sinkholes and unstable land. Some communities face ongoing air and water pollution, which can affect health and quality of life. The environmental scars from decades of extractive industries contribute to a bleak, sometimes toxic landscape in certain regions. Mountaintop removal mining, in particular, has dramatically altered the natural scenery, removing entire hilltops and creating eerie, barren expanses. These environmental issues can make living in affected areas feel hazardous and grim, with a constant reminder of the toll industrial activity has taken on the land and local residents' health. Access to quality healthcare is a significant issue in many parts of West Virginia, particularly in rural counties where hospitals and clinics are few and far between. The state ranks near the bottom nationally for physician availability and has some of the highest rates of chronic diseases such as diabetes and heart disease. Mental health services and addiction treatment programs are also scarce, exacerbating the opioid crisis and other public health challenges. For residents, this can mean long travel times for emergency care or specialized treatment, creating anxiety around health emergencies. The healthcare shortage contributes to lower overall life expectancy compared to the national average. For anyone considering moving there, especially those with health concerns, the limited medical infrastructure can be a major deterrent. West Virginia's mountainous terrain results in harsh winters with heavy snowfall and icy conditions that can isolate communities and cause dangerous travel. Spring and summer bring the risk of flooding, landslides, and occasional severe storms. The state's rugged geography also makes it prone to natural disasters that can destroy homes and infrastructure. These weather hazards add an unpredictable and sometimes frightening element to everyday life, particularly in rural areas where emergency services may be slow to respond. For newcomers unfamiliar with the terrain and weather patterns, adapting to these conditions can be difficult and stressful. The physical environment can feel relentless and unforgiving, amplifying the challenges of living in remote or underdeveloped areas. Thanks for sticking with me through this journey into West Virginia's darker side. It's a state full of beauty, but also full of secrets, some unsettling, some downright scary. If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone you know who's thinking about moving there, or just loves exploring the mysterious parts of America. Stay curious, stay safe, and until next time, keep questioning what's really lurking beneath the surface. I'll see you in the next video.